Everybody, welcome to an edition of our Skype shiur. Thank you again to Meir Gaba and to January for arranging the shiur. Tonight's shiur is dedicated to Nishmat Rivka China. Baruch Hashem Tinechenu B'Gan Eden, and Avdil Ben Chaim Tovim. We would like to wish Refuah Shlema for Gravela Naomi Bat Leah Malka, Elisha Bat Sheva Bat Rivka, and for my mom Tikva Oshni Bat Rosette. Kelna Rafana Lehem Refuat Nefesh, Refuat Aguf, Refuat Krova Lavo. Tonight we're studying Parashat Pinchas in Porat Yosef Synagogue congregation. If you want to, it's a very interesting Parashat Pinchas, and there's like a bit of action in the beginning, and the story is split between two parashot. End of Parashat Balak, and it's like almost like a cliffhanger episode, part 1, and then part 2 of Pinchas. And really, just the question is when we're studying the Torah, we have to learn. What are we supposed to learn from it? How is it valuable for us? Every time we do this shiur, we try and get a good understanding of the parasha. And whenever we find a good understanding, there's always something relevant for us to learn from. And the question is, what do we learn from here? The Parashat of Pinchas. He did an amazing act for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he got a tremendous reward. Now we can't go around doing that. Find someone who's doing something terrible and take a spear and stab him. You'll be put in jail. I don't recommend to do that. That's not the lesson to learn from this week's parasha. But what is the lesson to learn? Gilad, do you want to say something?
So first of all, the fact that the act and the reward are split between two different parashas. So we have a week between the act
between to think, to contemplate.
Yeah. So just to
again, what did you learn from that?
To show how severe it is, even if it was the Shem Shamayim and it was for all the right reasons and it was the right thing to do and so on, how severe it is, right?
Oh, very nice. So, you're saying that's like a break, technically. You don't get rewarded straight away.
Yeah.
And also, maybe we can learn that just the fact that when you do the right thing, and sometimes it looks like maybe you're losing from it in the beginning, but you just have to wait a week and you see the reward comes in the end. You're going to see people doing the right thing and just made fun of, wow, you're making a bracha. You actually
but I think that's a good question. What is it? How do you know that it? So that's a huge question.
Yeah. How do you know?
How do you know that you're doing the right thing?
Okay, so very good. So we're going to open with that question, and in fact, we're going to make the question a bit stronger. We're going to ask like this: what it was in fact Pinchas's great action? He did an act of Kiddush Shem Shamayim, and he gets tremendous reward for it. Let's just start off with the first pasuk. Vaydabar Hashem el Moshe lemor. Hashem says, listen, Pinchas, he's the hero. Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen, Hishiv et Chamati. He restored my anger, Ma'al Bnei Israel. And in fact, what he did was he actually saved Am Yisrael. V'lo kiliti et Bnei Israel b'kinati. Because he diffused my anger, so actually I calmed down and I didn't actually destroy all of Am Yisrael. L'chen emor hineni noteno et beriti shalom. I'm going to give him as a reward my eternal peace, my eternal shalom. And הייתה לו ולזרעו אחריו ברית כהונת עולם. They will be kohanim forever. תחת אשר קינא אל אלוקיו. Now, there's a similar episode with Nadav and Avihu. Who was Nadav and Avihu?
The Banim Shel Aaron.
Banim Shel Aaron HaKohen. What were they? They were two of maybe the greatest leaders of Am Yisrael. And in fact, Moshe Rabbeinu refers to them as even greater than Aaron HaKohen. Than Moshe himself and Aaron HaKohen. In Kedusha, in Tzidkut, in greatness. And they died. And nothing great came out of them. That means.
But why? But how can you compare? How can you compare these two?
Oh, so one second. So let me just make the comparison. Just bear with me, Gilad. What was the comparison? So they in the Chanukah HaMizbeach, when they were coming to do, they were the first ones to offer up the Esh Zara. They were waiting for the Esh to come from Shemayim. They tried different things. They tried tefillot. No one could bring the Aktara, and then they went forward themselves of their own accord, risking their lives, and they're willing to do it l'shem Shemayim. Bemet. And the Orach Chaim says, HaKadosh says, they really intended to do l'shem Shemayim. They weren't trying to do any personal kavod in it. but they did it. What did they do wrong? They went and offered up the fire, and the fire swallowed them up. And then there was a commandment for all of the Kohanim not to go forward and be careful and lezir kol Kohanim. You can't go up into the Kodesh HaKodeshim and offer up Eshzara.
But it's not one of the Yarek V'Bali Avor, where actually Zimri did something that Pinchas, for Pinchas it was Yarek V'Bali Avor. So Pinchas, even if Pinchas risked himself with the death punishment, he should have done it because it's Yarek V'Bali Avor. If you see someone else disgracing Hashem in such a way that Machtit Arabim in such a way, it's one of the Yarek V'Bali Avor. So that's doing the right thing. So it doesn't matter. The outcome doesn't matter. If you do the right thing, you always win. And I think that's
right. If you do the right thing, you always win. But I'm addressing your question, Gilad. You asked, how do you know if you're doing the right thing? That was your question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's very difficult to know, and that's why we're not doing it. But I'm just adding to the question. Now, bear with me in the comparison. Because I'm comparing 1 point in Pinchas to 1 point in Nadav Avihu, and I'm going to explain a little bit more, and this is going to become more clearer. And it's very important to understand it because it's a very subtle difference. But let's just look at the similarities, okay? So let's just study first of all the Parasha of Pinchas. What did Pinchas do? He saw an act of disgrace, okay? And halachically, even though Gilui Arayot is Hayarek B'Ali Avor, on a technical halachic point of view, here it's not. It doesn't have the classic case of Hayarek B'Ali Avor of that somebody can go and kill him. I
don't think that it's Yarek V'Bali Avor. It's not Yarek V'Bali Avor because of Gilui Arayot. It's Yarek V'Bali Avor because there is such a disgrace of Hashem in public. So the Yarek V'Bali Avor.
I see what you mean.
So,
okay. No, you're 100% right. You're right. There is Yarek V'Bali Avor of Chilul Hashem in public. That's 100% right. I didn't understand what you meant. Even though it's a Yarek V'Bali Avor, I don't know if that is permits you to kill. And in fact, Pinchas had to go ask, and Rashi says that. That somebody who does this act of Bo'el Aramit, Kanaim, Pogimbo, that means they're allowed to kill him. And no, it doesn't mean they're allowed, they should kill him. Amar lo, Moshe Rabbeinu said to him, Kraina de Garta, the one who reads the letter, he should be the one who fulfills it first. So he said to Pinchas, you go and do the act, and you kill him. Now Pinchas, can you imagine? He was like dead scared.
Which means that actually Moshe shares the mitzvah, because you can say that actually Pinchas was shaluach.
Was his shaliach? And yeah. And it's also a question on Moshe Rabbeinu. Why is he trying to get out of the duty? Why doesn't he do it himself? Mitzvah, okay, I'll do it. Why is he sending Pinchas to go in instead? Even Rashi says, okay, you're the one who said it, you do it. But I heard another very interesting insight into this message. Why did Moshe tell him to do it? Because Moshe said you saw the act, and if you saw it that it had an effect on you, you have to correct it yourself. You have to do that. In order for the act that you saw should not have an influence on you, you're the one who should do it. And that's why he said to Pinchas, you should do it. Sometimes something affects you, do something so strong and positive against it, so it doesn't leave a strong impression on you. So once he saw this act of Nasi Israel, so Moshe told him to do that. Okay, that's a bit of a side point. But let's just go back to what we're speaking about. What happened when Pinchas, he killed him? Do you know what happened after that? The whole tribe of Shimon ganged up against Pinchas. What are you doing killing our Nasi? Now he saw the whole of tribe of Shimon coming up against him, all the warriors of Shimon, of the tribe of Shimon. What happened to Pinchas? Midrash says he died. Did you know that? He died. Yeah, the Midrash says that. He actually, the Zohar Kodesh said that. All of Shimon came up against him trying to kill him, and then he died. That means he risked his life to do that. And actually
he died what? Like because they killed him or because what?
No, they didn't kill him. Parchan Nishmato, just from the pachad. Just from the fear of all the tribe of Shimon trying to attack him, it says a Parchan Nishmato. Until he says that the neshama of Nadav Avihu came inside of him.
Wow.
That's what it says in the Zohar. Okay. So now let's compare Nadav and Avihu. Where they come in? So just the point I'm taking up from Pinchas is that he saw the right thing to do was Kanaim Pogimbo. He said to Moshe Rabbeinu, they told him to kill him. He said, I have to kill him? I have to kill him? Please, I don't want to kill him. I'm the one who's studying Halakha. I'm just saying what the book says. I don't want to do anything. No, I have to kill him. But it's scary. I have to risk my life. I have to danger myself. I have to do Mesirut Nefesh for it. I said, yeah, that's the right thing to do. He did Mesirut Nefesh. And in the end, Bemet Parcha Nishmato. But he got tremendous reward from that. If you look at the story of Nadav and Avihu, what did they do? They brought up Esh Zara. They went Lifnai V'Lifnim. They were not commanded to go through by Hashem, and they got burnt up with fire. And they were willing to do that, L'Shem Shamayim, to say, listen, we need the fire. Everyone needs to see we did already the Chanukat HaMidbayit HaMizbeach, and we have to bring now the Esh Zara. We're waiting for the Esh to come down. Esh didn't come. Everyone's like waiting, where's the Esh? It looks like Chilul Hashem. They said, we're going to go and bring the Esh. And they got swallowed up in fire. So even they had Kavanah L'Shem Shamayim, and they wanted to light it, and they were willing to risk their life L'Shem Shamayim. So they got fired up. So the unbelievable begging question is, what is the difference between Pinchas and Nadav and Avihu? They both wanted to do the right thing. They both wanted to do L'Shem Shamayim. They're both willing to risk their life. One got burnt, and one got Malach HaBrit, Briti Shalom, Kehuna V'Lodorot Acharav. The Pasuk says. And that comes back to Gilad's question. How do you know when you're doing the right thing? Now, especially if you're not sure you're doing the right thing, don't go risk your life for it. You're going to risk your life and you're going to lose and you're not doing the right thing. So I heard, Gilad, are you with me on the question?
Yeah.
You want to suggest something? Or you want to hear the answer which I heard today?
No, I listen.
So I had a beautiful answer. So there's a very subtle difference. And you see that it's not enough just to have kavanah to do something L'Shem Shamayim. Even if you're a good person and you want to do it. But you have to make sure you're doing the right thing. And Nadav and Avihu, what they did wrong is that no one told him to go. But Pinchas, he went and asked Moshe. Look at Rashi on Pasuk Zayin. It said, the Pasuk just says, Vayar Pinchas, Vayekom mitoch ha'ida vayikach oramach bayado. But Rashi, and this is why you have to learn Rashi on Chumash. Ra'a Maaseh, he says, Amar lo leMoshe, he went to Moshe Rabbeinu and he said to him, Mekublani, that this is the halacha. You taught us. Mekublani mimcha, I learned from you, Moshe Rabbeinu, the halacha is aboel aramit kanaim pogim bo. Is this the halacha? And he went to ask Moshe Rabbeinu. When he went to ask the rabbi, he went to ask Moshe Rabbeinu, the leader, is this the right thing to do? And Moshe told him yes. Then he did it. He did the right thing. And for that he deserves return of reward. And that's the difference. Nadav and Avihu, they didn't ask anyone. They made their own logical account. Could be right, could be wrong. Go ask. If you ask that Torah, if you ask the rabbinical authority, the leader, is this the right thing to do? Then you have support min Shamayim. You have siyat d'shmaya to be matzliach. And this is whenever we have a major decision to do, in life. Sometimes we need to know where to live, where to send the children to school, where to move different. We need to ask, make sure we're doing the right thing. How do you know? And especially if you're risking your life for it, you have to ask. So now, if we understand that, it then makes beautiful sense, the connection. Why did Nadav and Avihu's neshama go into Pinchas?
To do the tikkun, because they didn't.
Exactly, to do the tikkun. It's unbelievable. It's to do the tikkun. The tikkun of Nadav and Avihu, they had everything there. The ratzon, the willingness, the determination, the mesirut nefesh to do L'Shem Shamayim. But they're missing the tikkun of the asking. So when Moshe Pinchas did that, Parashat Nishmato, and inside came the neshama of Nadav and Avihu.
Yeah. But we need to, but let's make it slightly more interesting here. Because, if they were at a higher degree than Moshe and Aaron, who should they ask then?
Who should they ask? It's a very good. Very, very good. Very good question. Gilad saying, if you are the greatest leader, you're the biggest chacham, who should you ask? So a person should always have a teacher. And that's what the Mishnah says, Asel lecha Rav. Or if you are the Rav, you are the greatest Rav. So even the biggest Rav, he needs to ask another Rav. And in fact, you see this many examples of even the Gaon Mivina, he asked the Magid Midubna. to give him
Yeah, but
himself.
they had each other. You understand? It's not a simple thing because they had each other, and if they are the greatest of the generation, the two greatest generation, and the two are edim, so two can be edim. If they decided it's the right thing to do, so and they were the greatest of the generation, it's not a simple thing. Right?
You're saying they asked each other?
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. You're saying they asked each other, so that should be the Asel Harav. I like that question. Oh, it's a good question, but that's a specific. But if you're saying on the general terms, let me just answer your question generally. A person needs to do Asel Harav. Oh, Maya's back. Welcome. Oh, so that makes sense. Yeah. So even though in some ways in some ways they were greater than Moshe Aaron, but it could be like Meir is saying, makes sense a lot. That Moshe Rabbeinu, he was the one who received the Torah. They should have asked him, like Pinchas asked Moshe Rabbeinu. But I'm just saying, answering in general term, a person should always have a rabbi. I have a rabbi, my rabbi has a rabbi, even my rabbi's rabbi has a rabbi. Okay? So everyone has the person to ask. And even if you're the greatest leader in a generation, we see that from the Gaon of Vilna, they actually, I think also even paid the Dubna Magid to give him also. And even if you have somebody on your level, so you even ask a Talmid, but there's always a personal agenda or negiut or tendency towards one way. You need to be checked by somebody else. Even when you give a shiur, if you have somebody in the shiur who's also a rabbi, then you have to be up to the standard. You can't just say whatever you want. You have to be backed up, and you have to be careful from that. That's why you have a dayanim. You always have to have 3 dayanim. You have to have a dayanim. I remember there was one dayan in London. He wanted to open a bedin, and he asked Rabbi Vadia to give him a askama for bedin, and he said you can't open a bedin by yourself. You can't judge by yourself. You have to have 2 other dayanim. If you don't have 2 other dayanim, bring 2 other rabbis, but you can't be on your own bedin. So let's just go to this next point. If Pinchas, what did Pinchas get? He became Kuna, and I think this goes on to the point. Just think about this. Pinchas, he did the right thing. He asked Moshe Rabbeinu. He did the tremendous act and overcome he overcame, he forced himself to do the right thing, and even he had to do this act against Nasi Israel, Mesirut Nefesh Gadol. Okay? What's the next thing that happens? We said it according to the Midrash, Parcha Nishmato. Parcha Nishmato, that means he died. He was attacked by all Shevet Shimon. Now, when you do a tremendous act of greatness, you expect to be rewarded, no?
If it's a Shem Shamayim, why you expect to get anything?
Okay, absolutely right. You don't expect to get anything. But if you go to a shiur Torah, right, and you go out in the rain and you try and find parking, and then you go to the shiur Torah, you come out the shiur and you get a parking ticket. You think, no, what's happened? I came here with Mesirut Nefesh. I don't expect the parking ticket. Or I don't expect to get someone to
I would be very surprised if anyone would think something like that.
What do you mean? No, I'm saying if you're doing the right thing, then you expect Hashem to look upon you and to treat you well, to reward you for it. And it doesn't.
Yeah, but that's exactly the point. We are in a limited mind. How can you understand what is treating well and not treating well?
Okay.
Actually, maybe something that you think, okay, it's unpleasant or it's not good, but actually maybe it's the best thing that happened to you in your life. How can you know?
Excellent.
You don't
know. Gilad, repeat that sentence. You said it very beautifully. You don't know. It could be that's the best thing in your life. Now, I'm just saying this to bring out a point. And this is a message that we can learn from the Parasha. This is something we learn. But sometimes we do Mesirut Nefesh for something. We try really hard to do the right thing. And we do the right thing. And then we see something just flops in front of us. And we don't understand why it happened. And maybe think Hashem's happy. So it could be the best thing in the world. And we see from here that when Pinchas died, it really was the best thing in the world. Why? Because what came into Pinchas? The neshama of Nadav and Avihu. And at this time, Pinchas was not a Kohen. Nadav and Avihu was Kohanim, 2 great Kohanim. And he got the Kohuna from this, and he became Kohen Gadol. And that's why the Pasuk says, Pinchas ben Elazar, ben Aaron HaKohen. Why is he ben Aaron HaKohen? Because he became the neshama of Nadav and Avihu, who was literally ben Aaron HaKohen. And like
Eliyahu Navi.
Who said that?
Right.
Is that Mo?
It became no, Gilad. It became Eliyahu Navi. So it.
Oh, so very good. He became Eliyahu Navi, and Eliyahu Navi is Malach HaBrit. Now, let me just share this with you. You see that. So first of all, the point is that even, and I'm just going to give you just an example. I know people became Balei Tshuva. They're Chozer B'Tshuva, and sometimes they lost their job because of Shmirat Shabbat, and they're really doing Balei Tshuva, genuine Balei Tshuva. And then they're saying they're finding it hard in Parnasa, or their family is difficult for them. And they say, oh, why has Hashem abandoned me? Look, I've done so much for him. And he says, it's just a phase of Nisayon. Sometimes it's a phase of, which is difficulty, but just Hashem, you just have to hang in there, and you have to wait till the end. And the end of the episode. That's why maybe it's a break in the Parasha between Balak and Pinchas. Because the reward, you don't see it always straight away. You see it later. And even if in the beginning it looks like he died straight away, and that's in last week's Parasha, but just wait another week, and you see this week's Parasha, his neshama came back, and he became a Kohen Gadol, and he became Kohen for generations. So you always have to wait to see the end of the story. I like how Gilad said it. It could be the greatest thing that ever happened to you. And this was actually the best thing that happened to Pinchas. He became Kohen and Kohen Gadol from it. Nachon, but not including the end. The end was what they saw. Repeat.
Yeah, sorry, Rabbi. You were disconnected for 10 seconds or so.
Okay, so for some reason there's a poor connection. 1 second. I'm just going to try and do something to improve the connection. Right. So, Mayor, I think I heard what you said was that the pure Parashat Balak is something that they didn't see, and the end of the Parasha is the beginning of the story where they didn't see the end. They had to wait till the end. No? Yes. Very good. Nice, very nice connection. I like that. Beautiful. So that's what we see. The lesson we learn from Pinchas, and you see sometimes in life everything seems to be all going wrong. Oh, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And you think, wait a minute, this is actually the best thing that could ever be. And so don't get shocked from it, and you can see that the goodness will come out of it at the end. Even something that looks like a failure. I just want to share with you a small insight from the Gaon Vilna. We mentioned him. Look at the pasuk. Hashivet Chamati. What does it mean, Hashivet Chamati? It means he removed my anger. Now look at the word Chamati. How do you spell Chamati? Gilad, can you see?
Chet Mem Taf Yud.
Exactly. Now look, what's the middle two letters? Which word is it? The middle two letters.
Met.
Met. And
Chai Met.
Chai Met. So you see the middle is Met. And out of two letters is Chai. So, so what happened was, Am Israel. Well, let me just give a bit of background. How did the Balak? Bilak hired Bilam to curse Am Yisrael. Okay, he failed and he messed up and he miserably. He had a backup plan. What was plan B? To make Am Yisrael do Averot. Okay, how does he do that? He says, Vayeshev Yisrael b'Shittim, v'yichel Am benot Moab. How did he get benot Moab? What did he do? He says, listen, Am Yisrael, they're in the desert. Okay, I have to get them. What am I going to do? He opened up a market. He opened up a shopping mall, shopping center. He sent all the girls out, beautiful dresses, and he says, listen, Am Yisrael, they're in the midbar. They haven't seen clothes. They haven't been to shopping for a long time. So he opened what's called Westfield in the midbar. And everyone went out to shopping to see buy new clothes. And when they got shopping clothes, they said, listen, you want clothes? You got here Avodah Zarah, Baal Peor. And they did all the Avarot of Baal Peor. And when they did Am Yisrael did Averah, that's when Hashem is upset with him. And you see, Hashem says, V'yomer Hashem Moshe, kach et kol Rashi ha'am, v'huka otam. Go and kill them. All of them. Neged HaShamesh, v'yishav b'charon of Hashem. And Hashem was all angry and he was going to kill all of those who sinned in Baal Peor. And I saw numbers, something like 150,000 of Am Yisrael in Baal Peor. I don't know if 150,000, maybe that's like all the Jews in London, like in numbers. Or even more. And there was a Magefa. The Magefa came out and they started dying. And then that's when the Maaseh of Cosbi ben Zimri ben Salu, he came and he took the Midianite to Moshe Rabbeinu. And when Pinchas stepped forward and he was angry for Hashem, then Hashem was calmed down. And let me just be clear what I mean. Hashem said, like, everyone's doing Averot and no one cares. No one cares that everyone's doing Averot. When Pinchas stands up and he says, this is wrong, and I'm not happy about doing Averot, then that diffuses the anger of Hashem. There is Yeshivat Chamati. Yeshivat Chamati. And I'll just give you an example. When you have somebody who's offended and upset for his own kavod, he's got embarrassed or disgraced, right? So if someone stands up for him, so he says, okay, no, it's fine, leave it, yeah? But if no one stands up for him and he has to stand up for himself, then he is outraged. How can you do that? How can you say that, yeah? But if someone steps in the side and he says, oh, that's not nice what you said. Oh, he's really different. Then he says, okay, no, he can shrug it off. He's calmed down. Why? Because he's not on his own and he understands someone stands up for his ego, backs him up. But if no one stands up for him, then he feels he has to defend himself much more. And he gets even more outraged or more angry. Even if sometimes you'll get upset and you can come home and you can speak to your wife and you tell her, listen, this is what happened to me today. And she says, oh no, you must have felt really bad. And then you can say, no, it's fine, it was all right. But if she says, no, so what's the big deal? And she doesn't understand why you're upset, then you say, what do you mean? He said this to me. And you get angry about it, yeah? Because she didn't understand you. Because you feel you're not understood, then you get more outraged because no one's defending you. And here, Pinchas, he stood up for what Hashem was, for Hashem. He stood up for what was right. And that was what diffused the anger of Hashem, and that's what gave him the reward. The Gaon of Vilna, he says about the Chai and Met. He separated the Met. Everyone was supposed to die. But Yeshivat Chamati, he took the Met and made it Chai. Now he says about Tzedakah. The same thing is with Tzedakah. Tzedakah is Tatzil Min Mavet. When everyone give Machatzit a shekel, Machatzit. What is the letters of Machatzit? Mem, Chet, Tzadik, Yud, Taf. So the first letter and the last letter is Machatzit. Yeah. Mem, Taf. Mem, Taf is Met. In the middle, what do you have? Chatzit is Chet, Yud, and in the middle is Tzadik, Tzedakah. The Tzedakah is Tatzil Min Mavet. The Tzedakah makes you Chai instead of Met. Now, what's that got to do with Pinchas? So there's a pasuk in Tehillim. If anyone has a Tehillim next to you, open up this Tehillim, Perek Kuf Vav. You have to see this. You have to see this pasuk. Unbelievable. Look at this pasuk in Tehillim. This is what the Gaon Mivin meant. Pasuk Perek Kuvav pasuk Kafchet. Does anyone have it? You want to read it for me? ויצמדו לבעל פאור ויאכלו זבחי מתים. Means that they were next to Baal Peor, and they did the averot of Baal Peor, and they ate zivchei metim. ויכעיסו נגד השם במעלליהם with their bad actions. ותפרוץ בם מגפה. And the plague came out of them, but ותפרוץ בם and killed them. What's the next pasuk? Pasuk Lamed. Yeah. Find a. Do you have it, Gilad?
No. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to read it out for you. So just look it up when you have a Tehillim, make a note of it. It's a beautiful pasuk. It's saying the whole thing what happened in the parasha. Vayamot Pinchas vayifalel. And Pinchas stood up and he did the justice. V'ta'atzer ha'magefa. Pinchas stopped the plague. And then the pasuk says v'techashev lo litzdaka. This was considered as a tzedakah for Pinchas. Because the dor vador ad olam is considered a merit. Tzedakah is called a merit.
Where else נחשב לצדקה? I don't remember if it's אברהם או ויאמין ונחשבה לו לצדקה. It's אברהם that נחשבה לו לצדקה? תחשב לו לצדקה? Something that אברהם did?
I'm not sure what you're referring to, but the pasuk in Tehillim says ותחשב לו לצדקה, referring to Pinchas. That this is considered tzedakah. Tzedakah tatzil mimavet. That's what Pinchas did. He saved them from Mavet. He saved everyone by just killing one person. The Nasi Israel, everyone was shocked by that. Everyone stopped.
And that's how he saved
himself. And that's what saved them. And that's the tzedakah. And we're from this is a great action of tzedakah tatzil mimavet. You know how many stories we have in the Gemara of Rabbi Akiva and his daughter when Rabbi Akiva he knew that his daughter was going to die on the day of her wedding. He knew that, and he married her off. And the next day he was waiting for a levaya. And she said, and she wakes up and she says, "Hi, Dad," and she didn't die. And he's like, "Sure, what do you mean you didn't die?" He says, "No, what do you mean I died? I didn't die. No, I just got married." He says, "Yeah. Well, tell me what happened. What happened yesterday at the wedding dinner?" He says, "Well, I was in my room. I was getting ready for the chuppah and everything. Or after the chuppah, I went to my room, and then there was a knock on the door, and there was a poor man came, and he asked me for something to eat. So I took my plate, my dinner, my wedding dinner plate, which I was going to eat, whatever it was on the plate, and I gave it to him to eat." He says, "And then what did you do?" And then I said, "I took out the pin from my dress or from my hair, and I put it into the wall." He said, "Have a look at that pin." So they took out the pin from the wall, and out came a snake. She stabbed the snake with her pin. And Rabbi Akiva said, "It's the tzedakah that you did with the ani. You gave him your food that saved you from mavet. That's tzedakah tatzil mimavet. You got saved from that." And that's the tzedakah tatzil mimavet. Tzedakah is the machatzit, which separates the met from the chai. That's what Pinchas did. He stopped the magefa. That's why it's called tzedakah. And it's very important we learn. And also, one time when last year and a half ago, when my mum was in hospital for a month and a half, and I was very worried, and I was praying a long time. And one of my close friends, his name David Kelly, he said to me, he said, "Don't worry about your mum. Tefillah and tzedakah are call over, and tzedakah tatzil mimavet." And at that time, I remember every money that I had, whatever bit I gave, I said, "This is be for Shema for my mom. This should be for tzedakah." And the way tzedakah tatzil mimavet, she was saved in a miraculous way. And really, this is one of the main messages that Tila from this parasha of Eshivat Chamati v'techashev lo litzedakah. That's what tzedakah is tatzil mimavet. Now, I want to share with you a very interesting midrash. And the Rav Chida says this. He says that Pinchas is Eliyahu. Like, do you have a Chumash in front of you? If you look at the Chumash, it says Beriti Shalom. There's something very special about the Vav in Shalom. What's unusual about the Vav?
That it is a katua.
Very good. It's Vav Katia. I think it's the only time in the Torah where there's a letter which is Katia, it's broken. Normally, if there's a broken letter, it's Pasul. But here, the letter has to be broken. And what does this symbolize? So, the Balaturim says the Vav is Briti Shalom, is like Shalem. Without the Vav, Shalem is whole. But Asu, the Rav Chida. The Rav Chida says this Vav, this is what not the Rav Chida, but the Vav is transferred to Eliyahu. Eliyahu. And there's Eliyahu Malach HaBrit. Pinchas Zahu Eliyahu. What did I want to say?
That's a sign of the Brit Milah, I think, of Eliyahu.
Eliyahu, yeah. So Eliyahu. Wow, I forgot this midrash. 1 second, let me just try and find it. Yes, I got it now. Eliyahu Navi is the haftarah of this week's parasha, yeah? Eliyahu says, in this week's parasha, he says about Am Yisrael. What does he say about Am Yisrael?
Good or not?
You remember? You like?
What Eliyahu says?
Yeah.
So I heard a shiur earlier this week that Eliyahu told Hashem that look what Israel are doing. They are obviously they're doing chataim and they're not keeping the Torah and so on, right? So as I recall.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. I'm trying to look for the pasuk. So the Bnei Israel.
And Hashem.
ולא שמעו בריתי. בריתך, הנה, כי עזבו בריתך בני ישראל, ויאמר קונו קינאתי להשם אלוקי צבאות, כי עזבו בריתך בני ישראל. בני ישראל abandoned your covenant, your brit, your promise, and his briti shalom. So here the Vav is referring to that. Now Eliyahu Navi, because he said that about Bnei Israel, it's not a nice thing to say about Bnei Israel that they left Berit Hashem. Just for saying that, Hashem gave him punishment. What was the punishment?
To be in Brit Milah, yeah.
Oh, very good. To be in the Brit Milah. Says the Rav Chida. What kind of punishment is to be in the Brit Milah? If I tell you, Gilad, your punishment is you have to be in every single Brit Milah, Malach HaBrit, you are the Malach HaBrit.
Yeah, if you
will
miss,
be unbelievably happy. You'll be amazing. It's an amazing job. You just get promoted to be Malach HaBrit. Okay, Brit is a happy occasion. Sometimes they have music, they have good food. It's mesiba, it's a fun. What kind of punishment is that?
It depends. What if there is a better alternative? Okay.
Excellent, Gilad. Excellent. You're on fire tonight. What's the better alternative?
But that's that I heard in the shiur earlier this week. It's a shiur Torah shel Mala.
Very good. Who did you hear this from?
Rav Shushan.
Rav Shushan, excellent. So the Rav Chida, who did he say b'shem?
One of the Moroccan rabbis. I don't remember.
Rav Chida. The Rav Chida says it. Rabbi Chaim David Azulai, he asked this question, and he says that exactly the same answer. This is what he meant. That Eliyahu Navi, he went up to Shemaim alive. What's in Shemaim? In Shemaim is Shiur Torah. Alright? So if you're enjoying this Shiur, in Shemaim it's way better. It's unbelievable, the Shiur Torah in Shemaim. And there's amazing Chidushim in Shemaim. And imagine every time there's a Chidush, and Eliyahu has to go down, be at the Brit and come back. He misses amazing Chidushim. So this is his punishment. He said, you saying Azvu et Beriti, you're going to have to be Azov et Beriti. You're going to have to leave and not listen to the Chidushim, and you have to be in every single Brit just to see that they are Mekayim. You see how they are fulfilling the Brit. And you see over here, It's a punishment not to hear Torah. And it could be you got a good reason not to come to the shiur. Could be you have to go to Brit Milah. Could be, but you see this as a punishment. To be in the shiur, you need the zchut. You need to be merit. Not everyone has the zchut to be in the shiur. And that was what Eliyahu's punishment was, that he misses the shiur Torah. Let me give you a story of the Chazon Ish. Chazon Ish, he used to live in Bnei Brak, and he was invited to be sandak at a Brit Milah in Yerushalayim. And he's there at the Brit, he's waiting for the mohel or waiting for the babe. And then he sees one of the boys from the yeshiva. He says to him, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "What do you mean, Rabbi? I came for the Brit." You came from Bnei Brak to the Brit Milah. You stopped learning Torah to come to the Brit. He said, "I come because I have to be here because I'm the sandak. But what are you? You're not the mohel." And I'll be a ben. He said, "Yeah, I'm a friend. I'm the family. That's not what you come for. Torah is keeping the world going. You keep the world alive with your Torah. What are you doing for your neshama when you're learning Torah? What are you doing for your Olam Haba when you're learning Torah? You're doing for Am Yisrael. Don't stop learning Torah for coming to a Brit." So he felt bad, and he understood the message. He said, "Okay, so Rabbi, I didn't know, and I'll learn, and I won't do it again." Okay. So he says, "Okay," and then he went, to get a plate of, from the buffet, from the food. And the Chazon Ish says, he said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "What do you mean what I'm doing? I'm here for the Brit, Because, "What do you mean? I told you to go back." He said, "Yeah, but I thought, anyway, I've already come here. So I'm here, I'll stay for the Brit, and then I'll go home." He said, "No, you don't stay for the Brit and then you go home. You go now." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Yes." He said, "You're not supposed to be here. This is the wrong thing to do. If you're not meant to be here, leave now. There's not, okay, I'm here anyway, I might as well stay." That's not a calculation to make. It's not a response. There's a Chazon Ish, you have to know what you're doing the right thing. If you realize you're doing the wrong thing, straight away you stop. Straight away you stop. That's it. That is the halakha. In the middle, you realize you're doing the wrong thing, you stop. You don't carry on doing it. And there's the etzah of Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara says, "Im kvar, az kvar." If I'm already here, I might as well carry on with it. That's not the hashkafa of the Torah. Hashkafa of the Torah is if you're doing the wrong thing, you stop it. I'll give you an example. If somebody says you lost your wallet, and inside your wallet you had £100. Okay? You lost your wallet, you find it. How much you find inside the wallet is £20. Somebody stole 80, there's only 20 left. You get all disappointed. He goes, what is this? I only got 20, I had 80. You take the 20 and you throw it in the bin. What, you crazy? What do you mean? You still have 20, why are you throwing it away? "No, I've already lost 80. Well, I lost 80%. What's the 20? 20 is not worth anything." He throws it away. Because that's everything you have. Everything you have, you're throwing away. He says, "That's the Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara is okay. I wasted my whole day. I wasted my week. I wasted my year. I wasted my life. I'm going to carry on wasting it. Or I did the wrong thing. I had a rubbish day. I'm going to forget it. Tomorrow will be a better day." No. You make the best of what you have left. What you have left, that's everything you have. Don't throw everything you have away because of what you've lost. You lost 80%.
Yeah, that's התשובה יום לפני, yes.
Yeah. But I'm saying that's the Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara gets you, goes, "Listen, you've already come this far, you've already done this much Avera, do a little bit more Avera, doesn't matter." No. Doesn't matter, you've done the worst Avera. Doesn't matter, you can still stop. Every day you can stop and Hashem's waiting for you to come back. Okay. I had a lot more nice chidushim to say. Maybe we'll stop here. Let me just say one thing at the end of the parasha about Korban. We say in Perek Chavchet, the parasha of Korban Tamid. And it's very interesting. Out of all the Korbanot, every time when a person does the Avara, he brings a Korban. Do another Avara, you bring Korban Chatat. If you're not sure which Avara you did, you bring a Korban Hasham. But there's one Korban which is Mechaper on everything. Mechaper al Kol Bnei Yisrael Yachid and Rabim, which is the Korban Tamid. Korban Tamid we read in this week's parasha, Perek Kafchet. And we read it in Tefillah. When do we read it in Tefillah? You like to remember?
What do you mean? In Shacharit, when we start, before we start?
We say Korban, exactly. We say Korban Tamid בבוקר, בשחרית, and we say also בין הערביים in מנחה. קורבן התמיד is mechaper on everything. The korban b'boker is mechaper on everything which was at night, and the korban ben arbaim and mincha, it atones for everything that was in the afternoon during the day. So you got one which is mechaper on the day, and one's mechaper on the night. And this is the only korban in the Torah which is called korbani. Saved bnei Yisrael v'amarta alehem et korbani nachmi leishai reich nichochi. This is my korban. This is for me a pleasant nachat ruach. Reich nichochi tishmu. Be careful to keep it like Libli b'moado. And why was it called korban tamid? Well, what's tamid? What does it mean tamid?
So that when there was Bet Mikdash, of course.
Well,
but no, I'm not saying something. So that was the one that you do every day.
Exactly. Every day.
Up to Yud Zayin B'Tammuz. That's when the
every
stops.
Day. And now, what's korban? Korban is my korban. This is the lev. Lev, how do you spell lev? Lamed, bet, right? Now look, how do you spell the letter lamed? Is lamed, mem, dalet. Mem, dalet. And bet, how do you spell bet? Bet is yud, taf. Bet, yud, taf. Nachon Gilad, you with me?
Yeah.
The milui of the word lev is lamed, bet. So the milui is tamid. Because bet is taf, yud. And lamed is lamed, mem, dalet. So that's mem, dalet. The milui of lamed. The milui of lamed is mem, dalet. The milui of bet is yud, taf. And that's tamid. Then what's tamid? The power of the korban tamid is every day. And this is just to be a chizuk to read the korbanot when we do tefillah. Sometimes we skip the korban tamid. But the power of the korban tamid is that the fact that it's every day. When you have something that you're doing every single day, that's Rotzon Hashem. That's mechaper at everything. And that's Ochel Priyah. And that's also the power of learning every day. The power of Mishnah Yomi, of Daf Yomi, or Halacha Yomi. When you have a Chok Yisrael, a Chok, that every day I'm learning something, that's Tamid. That's the power of Tamidi. That's the koach of the Korban to be Mechaper al Bnei Yisrael, Mechaper on everything. When we just end up the shir here, we'll just do a summary of all the lessons we learned today. Unbelievable lessons we learned in the Parasha of Pinchas. So we started off with the Chidush of Briti Shalom, that his neshama came out and he died after doing the great Kiddush Hashem. Even if you do a mitzvah and something that happens afterwards, you have to wait to see the reward. The reward doesn't come straight away, but the best thing happens. He died, and then the neshama of the Kohanim, greatest Kohanim, came into him. How do you know when you're doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing? You have to ask the Torah. You have to ask the rabbi, ask the leader, is this the right thing to do? Then you be Mosel Nefesh. And then the reward, you have to wait to see it afterwards. Then we said the chidush of machatzit tzedakah tatzil mimavet. The tzedakah has an ability to stop the magefa. That was what Pinchas says. B'chashev lo tzedakah. Then we said about the malach habrit, the onesh of malach habrit. Don't speak badly about Bnei Yisrael. And even if you are a Navi, you can get a punishment. Why is it punishment to go to every single brit? Because you're missing Chidushei Torah. Chidushei Torah is the Netzach. This is what you can learn from the Chidushim. It's a privilege to learn Torah. And the Chazon Ish says, if you're doing the wrong thing, stop straight away. Leave the brit and go back to learning Torah. The Yetzirah tells you, Im kvar, az kvar. I'm already done, I already failed, okay, I'm being a failure. No. You fail, you stop, you have the power to change. You have the power to be the best. And then we said the Korban Tamid is the Korbani. That's the Korban of Hashem. That's a lev. But it has to be every single day. Not to miss a day. That's the power of the Atmana, the power to continue. That's how it makes a person grow, how you become better, how you become perfect, how you become greatness. Let me just end off with one idea about Ben HaMetzarim. We are in the period of time where we are mourning for Bet HaMikdash, Ben HaMetzarim. And we have different halachot. We don't listen to music, don't have weddings. Some have the custom not to take haircuts or not to shave until Rosh Chodesh. Some people, according to Sfaradim, is allowed. But every time of period in Am Yisrael in the year is a Moed. Moed is something we have an opportunity to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And even this period of time of Avelut is a time to utilize to come closer to Hashem. Like you have Chagim, you have Shabbat, you have Rosh Chodesh, you have Ben HaMetzarim. Now, what does Avelot do? So first we have to remember, Kol HaMetabel al Yerushalayim Zocher v'roeh b'binyana. We're waiting to see the glory of Hashem come back to Yerushalayim. And it's through the Avelot that we do that. Okay, sometimes it's annoying. I can't listen to music. I really want to hear a song. But you're remembering Yerushalayim, so you will remember to see them. And it says, "B'kol rodfea hisiguha." What does it mean? Kol rodfea hisiguha ben hametzarim. This is a time which is dangerous because it's between the 2 days of Paranut, ben hametzarim, the Shivasa B'Tammuz and Tisha B'Av. And in history, bad things happened in Tam Israel. I mean, there were wars happened, the Spanish Inquisition, in Germany, the Kristall Nacht was in. All bad things happened in Israel in this time. It's a very, dangerous time. Be careful. We don't go to do dangerous things. However, on a positive note, someone asked me today, tell me, Netanel, after Mashiach comes, okay, so there's no Avelot. We have Yerushalayim, we build the Yerushalayim. So what happens to the 3 weeks? What happens to Tisha B'Av? There's no Tisha B'Av.
יהפכו לימים של שמחה.
Exactly. ויהפוך יגון לשמחה. These will be the greatest days. These will be the greatest days of Simcha. And we'll say, hey, Gilad, you want to come over to my Seudat Tisha B'Av? We're going to do a Mesibat Tisha B'Av. It's going to be the one of the happiest days in the world. However, even now, it has the potential. Every time, how do you say mashber in English?
Crisis.
Mashber, a crisis, is an opportunity for growth, because every crisis is a tremendous amount of energy when there's a mashber, and that energy can be channeled. And the Hasidic sources say, "V'chol rodfea hisigua, chol rodfea." Those who chase it. Anyone who traces it, hisigua will hisig is to accomplish it. When you're cornered, you're in between the 2 days, these 3 weeks. You're in between 2 days of Paranut. Any enemies who try to attack us, they get us in these times. If you're playing chess, you want to do checkmate. How do you do checkmate? So you get your queen, you get your rook, and you corner him into the corner. Once you get him into the corner, it's easy to get checkmate. Because when you're cornered, you're out. Says the Sefer Hasidim, Kol rodfeha hisiguha, Kol rodfei ka. What's rodfei ka? Rodfei Hashem, rodfeha, Kol rodfeha, those who rodef Hashem, rodfeha hisiguha. If you chase Hashem, it means you really look for Kirvat HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kirvat Elokim, you will reach it. And these special times, and these 3 weeks, this is the time to go and ask you, to go to chase Hashem. Like you said, Gilad, this is going to be the happiest days of Am Yisrael. But these happiest days can also be now. Think of, what you want to achieve in your world of, in your spiritual world, in your Olam HaRuchani, in Torah, in Tefillah, in close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is the time to make a chant, to make a move. At this time, Ben HaMetzarim, Kol Rodfei Yisigu, those who go and rodef after Hashem, Yisigu, they'll be able to accomplish it. I thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the shiur. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.
Wonderful.
A lot of talk. Thank you, Gilad. Good night. Thank you, Meir.